What's up, my beautiful people? Today is one of my good friend's birthdays, and everything is beautiful, and my glasses are all smooched up. And I don't like that, because I can't see Peter's falling. So, let me clean the old glasses. I have sight beyond sight. Okay, so we were reading a thing about a bowel buster. No, that's what happens when I drink milk. Ooh. It has become fork kind. Sure enough, the Junior Batter Master's Bullbuster Stirring Solution 50,000 has been affected too, along with your specibus. Try flipping switch. It transforms. What if it becomes a spork? I want spork kind. You try the broken switch again. Hey look, it does something now, toggling your trusty Bullbuster between a stirring solution and a poking solution. Neat! Back to the window! Nope, still nothing. You surely would have heard the truck pull up. You guess the Empire wasn't able to coordinate the mail with its rebranding. Maybe the U.S. Postal Service is the one thing it doesn't have its gnarled claws in yet? Another mental note, sink gnarled claws into post office when you take over. Open chest. You decided to pass the time by rummaging through your baking chest and... Hang on. Maybe later. Answer? Uranian Umbra yoU're begin cheering Gutsy Gumshoe GG at 11:17. Good morning, lovely. Why, hello! So I guess today is finally the day you make everything better. It is the day where after the legendary octet of mutual progenitoriety will come together and heal a great punch in paradox space. A day delivered through 80 billion years in 4 distinct universal instances worth of unfathomable turbulence. And while the emerald eye of the storm is fixed in the abyss forever, today you are poised to escape its scowl once and for all. By Skya's guiding light, you may leave behind its turning arms of bright colors and mayhem, and secure peace for your cosmic progeny for all duration. And if you're able to meet this departure with trepidation, I would understand. But also I would ask, is there nothing I can do to ease your mind? Gosh, so formal today. Yes. I'm afraid I am guilty of rehearsing this pep talk well in advance. I thought you deserved a proper send-off. Ah. Well then, is there nothing I can do? It was a serious question. You didn't worry about easing my nerves. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be nearly as thrilled about today as I am. Splendid. But remember, I will be here to help, whilst refraining from casual spoilers to the best of my ability. That is reassuring. Have you corresponded with your first designated co-player yet? No, I haven't seen her online yet today. I'm really hoping Lalon won't flake out on me this time. Have you heard from her? Not the today that is local to you, though I do have a wee bit more trouble monitoring her than the rest of you. Curious dark patches in transmission, Still, I wouldn't fret over it. She's as good a chum as any you have, and should come through ultimately, even if things seem dire. If you say so. Oh! I wanted to tell you, I had an amazing dream last night. Blimey. I believe it may have been the sort you described. A dream of awakening, presuming I haven't just flat out lost my marbles. Indeed, I'm sure it was. I knew you would wake up soon. Might you describe what you saw? I was in a bright gold city. Above was a brilliant blue sky. The horizon was dark as night. Was this the place you told me about? What was it called? Ah, shucks. Does this count as a casual spoiler? Causal spoiler? Not at all. That is a simple detail about the realm you're about to explore, without directly involving your future decisions of consequence. The place you visited was called Prospect. It is where I have woken up every time I have gone to sleep for most of my life. I didn't see you there. At least, I don't think I did. No, you wouldn't have. My Prospect is an alternate version from yours in a completely different session quite far afield of your reality. If we are ever to meet in person, it is unlikely to be while playing our respective games. Okay then. I mentioned this briefly to Jake, and he didn't seem to have much to say before we parted ways. I will gather that if this is all true, then it means Jake is not awoken yet? I think this is for you to determine in time. What is your hunch? I don't know. But there was one thing about the dream that was very troubling. I'm becoming nervous to consider what it might mean. Understandable. But it will be important to practice patience today. You have a long road ahead of you, and many questions will be answered in time. But we can talk it over later. now we both have games to prepare for. I know you could never fully appreciate what this actually meant, but I took much care to sync up these conversations with you on the same day that I began playing as well. That way we can journey through our sessions together and compare notes. I'm still not sure I appreciate what that means, but I appreciate that a nice gesture has been made if you say so. I guess I should start believing all of this now, huh? Rather than just learning it to be true later and feeling the fool for my curmudgeonly skepticism. For starters, I guess I could jot on reservations about your story? Will you? I can write off much to tomfoolery as I'm no stranger to a good prank myself, but quite honestly, you seem too kind for this charade. Not the type I'd expect to trot out such persistent falsehoods behind their humorous welcome. So what do I know? Consarn it, maybe you are an alien girl from Uranus, and together we are about to play a game which determines the fate of existence. Sign me up! Oh, but I never claimed to be from that planet, which is only in the far reaches of your solar system. In fact, I'm from much farther away, a different universe altogether. But if you truly mean it, thank you for believing me. Now, Jane, my lovely, let us prepare for this adventure. Remember what I said about the need for patience. Patience with your friends. Patience for your growth as the hero of life. And patience for the coming of the other four of legend. A hero of breath and of light and of time and of space. Oh, really? And if you still find yourself in doubt, just check the inscription in that big old book downstairs. After all, if you can trust words written by your own hand, then what use is trust at all? Kisses. Oh. You're reading Umbra, yoU're, ceased tearing, Gutsy Gumshoe, GG. Spoilers. My throat hurts. Okay, back to the chest. You return to your baking chest, which you use mainly for storing quality pranking apparatus and a few other odds and ends. Oh, hello, Pop Pop. His friendly face is there to greet you every time you open your chest. You would have loved to meet him. Unfortunately, his life was cut short at the tender age of 86 in a tragic accident, coincidentally on the same day you were born, or so your dad tells you. Pop Pop Crocker was a legendary comedian following in the footsteps of his grandfather, who of course was the greatest southern pranking legend of all time. One day, you hope to follow in Pop Pop's too. But then, if the whoppers you've been told recently are any truth to them, maybe you will get to meet him after all? It seems too good to be true. The only relationship you ever had with him were through video footage of his vaudevillian antics on stage. Or through his role as Judge Johnny Stone on one of your favorite old sitcoms, Night Court. Oh, jeez. Rummage around? Let's see, you got a trick sword, smoke pellets, and the fake blood, and the beagle puss, or the Groucho Marx shades. Pony pals. Wise guy, Colonel Saskers, and then we have all these little interesting things. I like the mustaches. Just your basics when it comes to pranking. A few clever disguises, a name brand dunce cap, a slightly abridged version of Sassacre's slightly abridged. Updated for the modern prankster and scrubbed of a few of the more egregious, julep-fueled racial slurs, several other stray books, your company's prototypical model for the Grist Widget 12,000, and of course your super handy Unreal Heiress Thoughtwave Tiara Top for the young, go-getting junior Battermaster on the go. Dump chest. Might as well get all this crap out of here and take it with you. You never know when you might need it. You shut the chest and... Oh, hello, Harry Anderson. Always a pleasure to see you there. He is also one of your idols, and as it happens, has a bit of a history with your Pop Pop. They were rivals on the vaudeville comedy and magic act circuit. Eventually, the less competent Anderson was shamed out of the industry and went on to greener pastures in the private ticking biz. He became one of the hardest-boiled detectives in the mean streets of the Big Easy, and later made a fortune off his memoirs, ghost written by Mike Cavini. Captcha all. Whee! Your Solidex is so great. You shudder to remember some of the old shitty fetch mode I used to struggle with when you were younger, still learning the captcha logging ropes. Fibonacci heap, lol at the effing noob. Oh jeez, can only imagine how painful that would be. Detective Pony. Hell fucking yes. Can acorns save the animals? I saw pony pals at the friggin' thrift store I was at the other day, where I got a really nice dress. Maplehoof. This guy. Glasses. You have a cookbook, which of course was made obsolete by your computerized talking bullbuster. You wouldn't dare part with it, though. Too many wonderful memories. There's Anderson's aforementioned book, Wise Guy. His, Cavini's, stories are gripping, in a way. And then there's a customized copy of Pony Pals, a gift to you on your 14th birthday from the slippery Mr. Strider. Each page contains lovingly handwritten commentary on the deeds of this intrepid young horse. I could have sworn that Pony Pals was more about the girls than the horses. It was like the Babysitter's Club, but with horses. This thing's a piece of junk. It wastes your boon dollars and destroys your cool gear to produce these stupid things that look like gushers. But unlike gushers, which serve many practical purposes like inducing vomiting and simulating the experience of eating plump insects, these things are totally useless. Grist widget. Oh, darn. Perfect timing, everybody. Okay. So, no, we don't want the grist widget. Insert hat card. But we'll use it anyway. Okay, you'll try it out with one of your less prized possessions just to prove how dumb it is. You never like this hat much. It makes you look like a gnome and basically isn't funny at all. You pop the card in. The grist widget indicates it will cost 10 boon dollars to convert this object into grist. That's not too bad, you guess. It's not like the currency has much value anyway. It was introduced as a sort of BC Corp funbucks to be used by youngsters specifically on qualifying merch online and stuff. Brilliant business strategy, really. As heiress to the Empire, you were naturally endowed with millions, which you have a reputation for being very generous with. You've been considering using your wealth to set up a scholarship fund to allow underprivileged kids to go to Boone College. Boone College? Interrupted myself by trying to say it. Oh! See? Utterly pointless. You hope Crocker Corp was going somewhere with this technology, because if not, this product is first in line for getting the axe when you're in charge. Wear a tiara top? You put on your highly fashionable Unreal Heiress Thoughtwave tiara top and flip it on. It immediately hums to life as its blazing fast processes mingle with your thoughts. It is the most efficient computing technology in the world by far, as long as you don't wear it for too long. But aside from a few migraines, you couldn't possibly imagine any drawbacks that cease reproduction who come with submit, merging, consume your thoughts with, embrace your calling. Experimental technology, conform to social order. From an stay asleep, extremely powerful, die. Corporation, wait, what? Continue vigilant window gazing. Oop. Oh my god, it's like that one freaking episode of, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Just a moment. You've just been sitting and all of a sudden you're just in like horrible itchy pain and then you're just like I had to go like roll around. Okay. All hail new Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, Guy Fieri. Congratulations, you've been chosen to receive free dinner for two at Olive Garden Feeding Chamber. Bacos. Simulated livestock flakes. What do you bother? Trillips? Making me hungry. Still no sign of the mail. Might as well keep the tiara top on when you look, even if it means suffering through these bullshit pop-up ads. That way you can keep an eye out for Lalonde while you're at it. Speak of the devil fucking Dickens. Answer Lalonde? Tipsy nostalgic, TG began bothering Gutsy Gumshoe, GG, at 11:24. Jane, hey! Janie, answer, please. Answer. Jane! Oh my god, overreact much? I kept you waiting for all of 2 seconds. Where have you been today? Nowhere, just chilling here. When all of a sudden, it hits me that we have something really fucking important to talk about. This just hit you now? We made plans to get in touch early this morning, and I have seen neither hide nor hair of you all day. It hits me that Jake's birthday is coming up really soon. Just a few days before mine, remember? Or I guess it would be if it wasn't for the end of the world that's about to happen. Oh, for Pete's sake. I just wanted your advice on what to get him. Something sentimental, I guess? But I mean, I'm mostly tapped out of precious heirlooms at the moment, so IDK. But not like anything coming on too strong. Something that says this is totes platonic and everything. No eyebrow raising, funny biz is going on over here. But it still says, you know, call me if you wanna. Now I know you're joking just to get my goat. Yeah, the goat getting thing, I mean. But joking, oh, no, I think not. You don't think that if I didn't say he was off limits on account of you being my best friend, I wouldn't be all the hell over that? Damn, rugged sense of adventure. Delightful, silly vernacular that's like weirdly and bewitchingly not self-aware. It's adorable teeth, swoon. No, stop. Well, shit, Jane. What am I even supposed to do? I can't hit on anybody, and apparently I can't entertain nary a frisky thought about anybody because apparently everybody's off limits. Bunch of goddamn typos. Shit sucks. You don't even let me say your dad is hot, even though we both think he way the fuck is. I mean, come on. On. Yeah, because it's weird. And you're drunk. Correction, drinking, present tense. Grammar, Jane. I don't see why you don't try to court in the favor of Mr. Strider. If you ask me, he and you are perfect for each other. Oh, Jane. So naive. So naive. Lordy, how can you be this far gone so early? It isn't even noon yet. You forget we live in very different time zones. It's a lot later here. You're 3 hours ahead of me. You'd be amazed at how much can happen in 3 hours. What would your mother have to say if she caught you? I'm sure she wouldn't give a shit. I mean, she's the one who stocked the goddamn liquor cabinet in the first place. I don't even think she ever had a drop in her life, probably. So why else she put it in there? It was like passive-aggressive dare for me. Aggressive. Just the sort of mind game she would play. So even if your insane and paranoid theory happens to be true, your response is, screw it, time to help myself to all this game booze. Yeah, pity mucka. Grown, you're completely impossible like this. I cannot believe you chose to do this today of all days. I should have known better. Here I am waking up bright and early, waiting all day with my nose pressed against this glass for the mail to come, and wondering if you'll ever log on, and all the while you're just getting blind, stinking, schnocker-bottom drunk. What you waiting for in the mail? Is something happening today or something? The alpha! Jeez Louise, you're hopeless. Oh yeah, that thing. Are you at all ready to play if it comes? I guess, but you sure you want to even play this thing? You know, it's just what the Better Witch wants you to do. Not this again. If you want to go ahead and be a chump, Jane, it's your call, I'm just saying. I know what a chump looks like. And if you don't look like no chump I ever saw, if you go through with this, I'll have to add your profile to my chump roll, which is like this real actual thing I maintain, instead of being a joke. Is that what you want? The Batter Witch does not exist! It is an idiotic urban legend. How many times have I explained this? My great-great-grandmother, who founded the company and is accused of holding this identity, would have been almost 200 years old if she were still alive today. The idea is such preposterous hogwash, it's hardly worth dignifying with a rational response. The iconic face of the company isn't even a real person. She was fabricated long ago during the company's fledgling years. Right. As, you know, an alter ego for something much more sinister. Such cuckoo bird nonsense. In any case, I don't understand the nature of this second guessing besides chalking up sheer unwelcome inebriation. We had agreed you would play with me. You sounded excited about it. Have you even obtained your copy yet? Yes, obtained. Sure did. Through your various technologically cryptographic means, I presume. Oh, you bet. Hacked the shit out of those tight mainframes and all. Is that jackpot like a bunch of times? All those ciphers and bobby traps, backdoor trojans and whatnot were no match for my codes. Snicker. I'm quizzically narrowing my eyes trying to solve the joke you're attempting, assuming it even is one. Okay, Jane, what I'm saying is that in the parlance of baking, because I knew that's what gets you off, is that it was a fucking cakewalk. Oh. Like, by which I mean to say I'm the hottest shit hacker bitch you would ever know. As deadly as the corporate grid as she is beautiful, which I am, but what I mean is shit wasn't even guarded. It was just like some files that were there, unsecured, and I took them, jacked them right off the interweb at telemetry, then applied lipstick, fatale style. It was like, shit, yes, I know all kinds of how to use my web browsers to download several files. Really? Yeah, so now I got it, if you really want to play, which you shouldn't. This is a bit puzzling. I thought this software was highly proprietary. I told you, she wants you to play, wants all us to part of her big plans, and you're playing right into him, like, Yes, I know, you've made yourself clear. But what doesn't add up about your story is, I believe somebody doesn't want me to play. How else do you explain the recent attempts on my life? Dunno. Someone out there wants the stock price to take a hit? There. Or it's just more connivings of the witch. So this hypothetical monstrosity wants me to succeed. but also wants me to die? Makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't put it past her. Make you feel persecuted, redoubles your determination to play. You advance her plans in whatever incomprehensible way, until suddenly you did everything she needed you to, at which point you become crazy expendable, yo, and then she expends you, like a wad of bin dollars on shitty BC merch. I see. This is sounding less like a crackpot conspiracy theory by a minute. By the minute. Whatever, all I'm saying is a bunch of stuff that's def true to the max. I'll send this file to you, though, and what you do with it is up to you. So, you want it now or what? It's tempting, and I'm curious as heck to play it. But the mail should be coming any minute. I've waited this long for it, so I might as well use the official disc's addressed to me. When it comes, I do hope you'll change your tune. Not to mention brew yourself a pot of coffee and sober your drunk butt up. My drunk butt's tune will stay as unchanged as it will remain, not drunk. I'm not drunk. Make my barley current words. Okay, fair enough. But I believe when we start playing together, you'll come around. Personally, I can hardly contain my excitement over it. If years ago someone told me, which incidentally someone did, that today I would have an exclusive opportunity to play what is absolutely the most cutting-edge immersive simulation game ever released, developed by a company which has already done so much for the advancement of humanity, I would have said, shucks, Buster, sign me up. Jane. Yes? Jane. What? Jane, did you know that I'm truly in love with the fact that I have a best friend who says things like, shucks, Buster? Just you, drunkie. Oh. What the fuck? The thing. The flappy thing. Oh, God. Okay, I didn't read the last part all that great, but I got distracted. Okay. She's like, what the fuck? The flappy thing. The flappy swingy doodad. The arm dealy. The dealy lalon. The dealy. What? The goddarned red swingy flappy liver arm thing about whatever it's called on the mailbox. Breathe, cocker. Slow breaths like this. I'm breathing regular, FYI. It's up! It's up! It's up! It's up! I don't get a lot of mail out here, and I'm no mail expert, but doesn't that mean not the right thing? Like, you're supposed to put it up if you want something taken away, not have the guy, like, put it up if the mail comes. I think your mailman is quiet as possibly a dumbass. No, who cares about that? The dealy! The dealy! It's up! It's up! It's here! It's here! It's here! It's here! Ah! A so fucking O at this. BRB. Gutsy Gumshoe, GG. Cease bothering tipsy nostalgic, TG. God. Prepare to retrieve mail. You scamper over to the door, but pause a second to think. Is your dad still washing the car? Hopefully he's still preoccupied so you can sneak out. But it doesn't hurt to be prepared for an encounter. Luckily, that is exactly what you are. Don clever disguise. Why, is that his loving daughter? Or could it be none other than Inspector Jacques Clouseau? Monsieur Clouseau, what are you doing in this household? Can I bake you a cake? Please make yourself comfortable when I go about my business, not being suspicious. But wait, perhaps that is not so much the distinguished Inspector Clouseau as it is the world-renowned investigator Hercule Poirot. Because the little curly mustache is a lot cuter. But Monsieur Clouseau! I love the Pink Panther. The great Poirot in this house? Such an honor. I will set the kettle to boil straight away. Who would have guessed this home would be so heavily trafficked by famous French detectives at this time of day? Oh my, the good Poirot appears to be clucking little pleasantries in his adorable French accent with the high-pitched voice of an enthusiastic teen girl. I surely don't have the heart to ground this upstanding, dapper gentleman, no matter how many dastardly attempts are made in her life. Yeah, this is a really shitty disguise. Exit. You make a cautious motion toward the beckoning exit. Now, when suddenly those same wild character select screen reapproaches non-threateningly. You note that you still cannot pick one of the shadowy characters. But maybe you haven't been on the other guy yet? That means it's time to click him. Or maybe you've already been him, in which case you are done with this thing. The narrative really has no way of knowing. Your ass remains firmly planted in the driving seat, as always. Nope, time to be Jake. Be Jake. And just like that, back to Jake. What is it you're up to? Oh, right. You were going to pick up those dang guns up off the floor when you were interrupted by some fleeting, imperceptible thought. You kind of space out sometimes. About those arms. Right. You pick up your twin M9 Berettas, weapon of choice in an absurd arsenal inherited from an eccentric old woman. Guns are so cool. Your grandma was rad. The double pistol kind. Examine holster belt. Fuck yes. It is your authentic Tomb Raider sexy thigh strap double holster, complete with cool skull buckle and everything. You like to think you pulled it off about as well as Croft herself. No, your tits are not nearly as magnificent, Jacopo. Wear it? You like to think that, but in truth you look ridiculous. You think you probably need shorter shorts to make it work. Probably skin-tight shorts, too. As it is, the cuffs of your baggy shorts get kind of bunched up underneath the thigh straps, which is uncomfortable and makes you look like a tool. Which you are. That's hilarious. Okay, forget it. Better off just keeping it in your strike deck. You can draw the guns faster from there anyway. Examine bed. You think your bed is some sort of electronic gadget. You're pretty sure the bedpost globes are supposed to glow like light bulbs under certain circumstances, but you've never been able to figure out what purpose it serves. Just more mysterious junk inherited from your eclectic grandma. She also gave you these bed sheets when you were very young, which you adore, but only for sentimental reasons. You aren't too keen on monsters. Examine posters. More posters. Which posters? Your whole room is nothing but posters. Sometimes you find it hard to focus on any one of them. You just relax your eyes and get lost in all the incredible heroes and adventures which exploded from the silver screen and into your bedroom, as well as your heart. Movies are so great. You've never seen a movie you didn't like, you were pretty sure. People give you a hard time for that, though. Gosh, you love movies. Almost as much as you love skulls. And movies that have skulls in them. Oh my god, so wonderful. Scope out those blue chicks. This is your collection of beauties. But you don't call them that to anyone but yourself in private, because somehow even you are aware of how dorky that sounds. You are oftentimes the recipients of a good ribbing from Jane on account of your peculiar fascination with blue movie ladies. You don't have to justify yourself to her, though. What is even her deal? Any fellow would be off his rocker not to fawn over these bodacious blue knockouts. You want to make out with all of them. So make out with all of them! Jake Sully, no, more like Jake English. Dear sweet Neytiri from James Cameron's Avatar. Oh, if only you were the one who could overcome his paralysis on an alien adventure planet to become her boyfriend instead of the other guy. Then she could have shown you how to be bold and courageous and stand up to fight for your people, and maybe later engage in a bizarre extraterrestrial reproductive process involving ponytails and a magical tree, you guess? There were blue penises there, too. He'll show that curmudgeonly Strider, who's just a gigantic shitty space furry. Gigantic shitty space furry. He will show him what marvelous creatures they are. You'll show him what a daring dream it is to combine with the finest qualities of humanity with... But seriously, you've got to stop kissing this stupid poster. Yeah, forget Jake Sully. It's all about Jake English. Stop kissing, stupid poster. I don't like it when they call the Na'vi furries, though, because they're not furry. Hell, they're not even, like, anything remotely close to that. Xeno is not furry. Just bugs me. Yes, that was a waste of time. Oh my god, he has Weekend at Bernie's. Jake, can you move it like Bernie? You know you can move it like Bernie. Definitely. It's definitely not something you spend much time doing whenever you're alone, which is always. Anyway, here's some other great movies. Weekend at Bernie's, classic. You really think John would like this movie, if the things you've heard about him are true. Guys in cahoots make the silly corpse of Bernie Lomax do zany puppet antics so their schemes can succeed. Guffaws aplenty, as you have tried to tell Jade before practically verbatim. She doesn't much care for great movies like that, but that's alright. You love her anyway, and you think she's a blast. She says you sound just like John when you say stuff like that, though, and that the two of you would get along famously. You can't wait to meet him. Also, there are some Cage flicks there. But who doesn't love a good Cage flick? Nobody, Yasu. Dang, you would kill to get your hands on some authentic Cage movie memorabilia. But that just have to remain a crazy dream. Examine package. Speaking of John, this is his birthday present. It is the project that has been taking up all your time lately. And today is the deadline to finish it. You have to send it to Jade so that when she has time to ship it to him across the Pacific Ocean. The transmaterializer you've been using to ship it back and forth is wired to sync up your flow of time with hers, so it's not like you can just take forever with it and send it the exact time she needs it. You've thought of that. And considering this bunny is probably going back to the early 20th century when she and John were around your age, you figure the mail was extra slow back then, so there's not a moment to spare. Phew, time stuff is pretty complicated, but you are fairly sure you've got this figured out. Examine bunny. Sure is gonna be a sweet gift. Reminds you a lot of the old ratty bunny you inherited from your grandma, who is, of course, is exactly who you are collaborating with to make this thing. Time loops make you feel a bit fuzzy in the head, but you've always suspected it could very well be the same bunny. At some point in the early 20th century, Jade gave this robot rabbit to John, and later it must have wound up back with Jade, somehow. Then she removed all the robot parts, hung onto it until she was an old woman and gave it to you. You guess crazier things have happened, like the way this whole project started in the first place. Jade tells you this little rabbit here, or Terry Kaiser as you like to call him, will save John's life. You'll be sitting there on some sort of chessboard battlefield in yellow pajamas, reading a letter, when pow! Kaiser to the rescue. So you're taking this responsibility very seriously. You have been for years already. In fact, this project gave you a neat idea for what to do for Jane's 13th birthday a couple years ago. You and your other pals all coordinated gifts, each sending a customized rabbit. Lond happened to have another bunny heirloom like yours, and Strider was resourceful as usual. If John enjoys his gift anywhere near as much as Jane did, then it will be time well spent. I'm confused.